Okay. So we are doing chapter 13 today. Okay, I've started recording. If you have questions, just interrupt me during the lecture. I don't mind. Okay, so for this chapter, we are learning on solid and liquids. And solid and liquids seems like an easy topic. Okay, it is. Yeah, it is an easy topic. Okay, so dalam chapter 13 ni, kita akan belajar elastic properties of solids and liquids and also hydrostatics. Hydrostatics, nama dia statics. Statics means it's not moving. So something that is in equilibrium. What about hydrodynamics? Hydrodynamics is something related to hydro, which is water. Dynamics means it's moving. But we are not going to go into detail on hydrodynamics. Kita akan cover 13.1 and 13.2 in detail, not so much on 13.3. Chapter 13, we are allocating 1 week to cover this chapter. So hopefully we can finish in 1 week. Alright. Okay, so states of matter. Sekejap Kalau nampak macam tak okay, bagi tahu Alright. Dapat, saya dah lama tak mengajar ni. Okay, states of matter. Matter is made up of tiny particles called atoms or molecules. And kita ada beberapa state. We have several states of matter, which is solid, liquid, gas, and plasma. So liquid and gas is a type of fluid. So whenever I say fluid, it can either mean liquid, can either mean water, something yang air lah, berair, or it can mean gas. So if I have a container containing a fluid, it's an open ended lah. Maksudnya it can either be gas or it can either be liquid. So fluid means either liquid or gas. Okay, plasma. Plasma is like this. Let me draw. So typically plasma, the way you get a plasma is this is a material. Let's say we have a copper. Ui, teruk ni tulisan. Sekejap Oh, this is so bad. Alright. Copper. Okay, so this is a thin film of copper. Copper is a metal, right? So I shoot laser dekat this copper. This laser is high temperature. What does it do to the copper? The copper also increases in temperature. It becomes panas lah. Okay, what happens when it becomes very, very hot? The copper ionizes. The atoms that make the copper, dia pecah. Dia macam disperse. Okay, so what happens? So you have atoms that are either positively charged or atoms that are negatively charged. But they must be equal in positive and negative. That is what plasma is. So kita boleh bayangkan macam, kita boleh bayangkan macam, we have something that looks like a gas over here. The laser shoots the copper. A gas forms. This gas is made up of atoms or molecules that is charged, electrically charged. Okay, so tu je yang awak perlu tahu about plasma in this chapter. And then we also have colloids, suspended tiny particles in liquids. For example, macam ni lah kot, milk mixed with water. You can't really see the particles, but when you drink it, rasa ke? Tak rasa juga. Ya, apa yang lagi sesuai? I can't figure it out. Okay, but I think you have the idea. It's like benda yang tak boleh dissolve betul-betul in water is colloids. Contohnya saya try dissolve beads, small beads inside water. Of course, it does not dissolve. So the texture of the beads tu is still there even though you're trying to drink the water. But don't drink the water, you're gonna die. Okay, but milk.
Humus kira ke?
Apa dia?
Humus.
Humus. Yes.
Benda bila tanah tu letak air lepas ada benda yang terapung tu kira kan?
Boleh? Yes. Anything that does not dissolve. There's tiny particles inside the liquid that is colloids. Okay, thank you. And then we have liquid crystal, intermediate between solid and liquid. I don't think this is important for you to know, but you can Google if you like. Okay, so that is another state. But yang kita selalu akan dengar is plasma, colloid, liquid gas, and solid. Liquid crystal ni jarang. Okay, so after completing this subchapter, which is elastic properties of solid. You will have to know how to explain the elastic properties of material, define stress and strain, and their relationship, and use Young's modulus. Okay, I have to add here, sebenarnya kita akan belajar Young's modulus, apa lagi satu nama dia? Young's modulus, was it shear modulus? Shear and bulk. Okay, nanti kita akan belajar. So it's not just Young's, it's also, kenapa teruk sangat Kejap, saya rasa this is not cooperating with me, my tablet. Let me try again. Oh, so bad. So it's not just Young's modulus, it's also shear. Okay, kena slow. Shear and bulk. Still bad. Macam mana nak tulis ni? Modulus. Modulus. Okay, harapnya boleh dibaca lah. Saya akan cuba berusaha untuk tulis dengan cantik lagi. Okay, next. So solids can deform. For example, you have a ruler, you can bend it, right? So that's a deformation. You have, what else? You have a tissue, you can squeeze it, that's a deformation. Sometimes an object does not deform. For example, this pen, I try to squeeze it, I try to compress it, nothing happens. So sometimes an object does not deform. Deform happens when there is a change in the object in terms of length or in terms of volume. Macam tissue tadi, or like the ruler. In this case, the shape changes, right? Wow, I can't write. Let me try again. Next. Sorry for the technical issue. Sila 2 hour balik kelas. Okay, let's use. So this is changing. Better. Changing the shape. So there is a change happening, right? So how do we quantify the change in shape? So apa yang berubah kat sini? Maybe we have this side dia jadi lagi panjang, or nanti kita akan discuss lagi lah. For example, this guy over here, I stretch it, I apply tension, or I stretch it. Tension is applying, stretching is applying tension. What happens? There is a change in length. Okay. Contoh yang terdekat saya boleh kasih is like a plasticine, maybe plasticine. Okay, so I have a block of plasticine, I apply tension, I try to stretch it, it elongates, right? So there is a change in length. Mula-mula saya start dengan a block of plasticine, saya tarik dia, so it changes in length, so jadi lagi besar. So perubahan daripada the block of plasticine ni, this is your delta L. So kat sini ada 2 delta L lah, atas dengan bawah. So to make things easier, ditunjuk kat sini je lah, ditunjuk. One part is elongating. Okay, so there is a change in length. This is called delta L, change in length. You can also apply compression ataupun tekan, tekan dia akan shrink. If I try to compress the plasticine, it will become smaller if I can compress it. So there is a change in length as well. Okay, so change in length can be positive, can be negative. Okay, but asalkan ada change, that is a deformation. Okay, saya tak sentuh apa-apa lagi. I just talked about deformation. So don't panic yet. Okay, next. So now we have a hook here, and I placed an object with weight mg. Okay, to this hook. This rod extends by delta L. So we can say that, oh, this rod is deforming. It is extending by length L. Okay, so this deformation is called elastic deformation when it is within this region. Okay, let me repeat myself. When there is a deformation, that happens within the elastic region, it is called an elastic deformation. When there is a deformation in the elastic region, it is called an elastic region. It is called elastic deformation. What is elastic deformation? It means that you can go back to the original size. If I remove this weight, it will go back to its initial size. If I put the weight, it stretches. Remove the weight, go back to original size. So this only happens within the elastic region. You can stretch, you can go back to the original, you can compress, you can go back to the original. Once it reaches the elastic limit, it enters the plastic region. What is plastic region? Maksudnya dia tak boleh go back to its original form. Okay, a ruler, but I don't have a ruler right now. Okay, kita bayangkanlah. So I have a ruler. So I try to bend it and I can bend it. So I am deforming it, right? So I apply, what do you call this? A force to bend it. I apply 10 Newton lah, let's say. 10 Newton dekat sini. Banyak agak. Satu lah. 10 macam banyak sangat. Okay, so I apply 1 Newton dekat tengah-tengah ni to bend it. If I increase this force dekat tengah ni, saya tolak lagi kuat. Now I try to bend it by 10 Newton. Kat mana saya nak lukis? Kat sini lah. I try to bend my ruler by 10 Newton, Masya Allah. By 10 Newton, right? So sekarang ni saya apply lagi kuat. Apa jadi kat pembaris tu? It breaks. Which means that it can no longer go back to its original size or original form. It has entered the plastic region. Plastic region means that it breaks or you can't go back to its original form. Tak semestinya break. It can either be this, kalau
Bengkok.
wrinkle boleh. Wrinkle apa? Material apa?
Stick.
Baju.
Apa? Tak dengar. Lagi sekali.
Baju.
Baju wrinkle, it can go back to its it can be nice again, right? Okay, kita kasih contoh lain.
Kalau getah.
Spring.
Spring is a good example. Spring kita tarik, kita boleh go back and forth, right? But once you go jauh gila, once you stretch it jauh gila, you can't make it go back to its original form, right? Ada one point where you stretch it, dia tak nak patah balik dah. Dia rosak lah. Spring tu rosak. So that is when your spring enters the plastic region. Okay, so in the elastic region, we can go back to its original form either kita stretch or kita compress, kita boleh go back to its original form. When you enter the plastic region, it's destroyed. The properties are not there anymore. It can either break or it can either elongate and tak go back to its original form, macam spring tadi. Thank you for the example. Baju saya rasa, baju kalau koyak, itu plastic region. Kalau wrinkle belum lagi kot. Wrinkle elastic kot. Okay. Right. And then also we have the breaking point. Pecah lah. Okay. Spring tu, dia plastic region, dia tak boleh go back to its original form. Tarik lagi, dia patah kat tengah. Okay. So that's a breaking point. Okay, I hope that is clear. Elastic region, plastic region, perbezaan dia macam mana. Okay, panjangnya. Deformation of solids. Let me see. Okay, when the applied force is small, solid tends to return to its original shape. This is elastic property. In elastic region, okay, this is something important. In the elastic region, the change in length is proportional to the applied force. So we will see this later. Ada equation here, of course. Physics, we go with theory first and then we look at the equation. The object will return to its original shape up to its elastic limit. So this is called the elastic limit. Okay, elastic limit. Lepas je elastic limit, plastic region. Okay, further application of external force causes the material to break at the breaking point, which is what I explained earlier. Okay, about this guy, we will look at the equation in a bit. Next slide. Okay, within the elastic region, the change in length delta X or delta L, boleh mana-mana, is proportional to the applied force. Tadi kita cakap pasal spring. The spring obeys Hooke's law, whereby F equals to Kx. In this case, this is F applied, right? F spring. What is F spring? Does anyone know? Tak ingat dah belajar sem 1. Okay lah, so saya pun sama. So we are the same. F spring is, wait, teruk gila. I don't know how to write nicely. Minus Kx. Okay, so there's a difference. F applied and F spring. Why is it minus Kx? You should know this in semester 1. We're not gonna go into detail unless if I have to. Okay, so saya bagi tahu macam tu je. F spring is minus Kx. The one that you're seeing with a positive sign is actually F applied, the force that you apply on the spring. The behavior of the spring is minus K delta X. Okay, so this is not important for this chapter, so tak apa. Maybe in other chapters it will be. So F applied to the spring is equal to K delta X, where K is the spring constant, right? And delta X is the length. So the more force that you apply, the higher the force, the longer your delta X is. Okay, the longer your delta X is, sebab dia proportional. K ni constant. The K depends on the type of material your spring is made of, so it does not change. Okay, so the higher your F, the higher your X. So it is proportional. So what it is saying here is the elastic region, this guy over here, obeys this guy, obeys this equation. So tu je lah nak cakap. So if spring obeys this, benda lain pun sama sebenarnya, but it does not use the Hooke's law lah. Hooke's law ni untuk spring. Okay, so tu je saya nak cakap. F is proportional to length, extension of length of the object. Okay, the change in length of a stretched object not only depends on the applied force, but also the material, okay, which is K. Your F equals to K delta X, from which it is made and its length and the cross-sectional area. Elastic behavior of materials can be differentiated by two physical quantities, and this is where it gets interesting, stress and strain. What is the difference between stress and strain? Okay, so kita akan discuss pasal ni. Next one, stress. It is defined, sorry, it's not defined. It is, what do you call it? Denoted by the Greek letter, what do you call this? Is it sigma? Apa panggil dia? I don't know what the name is. This guy is epsilon. This guy, I don't remember what it is. It's also a Greek letter. So stress, that is your symbol. Strain is an epsilon. Bentuk macam tu lah. So stress is the quantity related to the force causing the deformation. So stress is actually, wah, stress ni nak tulis ni. Stress. I need to figure out how to make this writing better. Okay, so F over A. Okay, stress is F over A. Dia cakap kat sini, stress is a quantity related to force causing deformation. Stress is equal to F over A. Strain is a measure of the degree of deformation, the measure of the degree. Maksudnya, stress quantifies delta X over the original length. Okay. Nasib baik first class. Boleh saya slow-slow sikit? Okay. So that is strain. Saya salah tulis. This is not stress, this is strain. Okay, so stress, something related to force, strain, something related to length. Okay, so that is something you need to take away from this slide. Strain is a change in physical size over the initial size, or delta X, delta L, or delta X over initial length. Okay, so tengok gambar ni, initial length is what we started with, original length, when I apply the tension, the change is this much. So that much is delta L over length, original length. Dia bukan L nu over L naught It's not L nu, it's delta L, perubahan sahaja. Okay, so that is something important. Don't get that confused. Okay, so tensile stress is the force per unit area causing the deformation. Okay, so tensile stress, F over A, tensile strain, epsilon, is delta L over L naught, or original length. Okay, these are the two equations. What is tensile? Does anyone know what tensile is? Kenapa nama dia tensile? Tiba-tiba je tensile kan? Tadi kita cakap pasal stress and strain. Suddenly it's tensile. So tensile is about length. Bila kita cakap pasal a long wire, macam mana saya nak adjust ni? When we talk about a long wire or when we talk about something that is long lah, we talk about tensile strength, tensile stress and tensile strain. What about things like a tissue? Do we use tensile? No, there's another name for that. There's another equation for that. So tensile ni only applies for things that are long, like a ruler or a rod, okay? And what is the A that we are interested in? It is the cross section of the rod. Not this guy. This guy is, we use it for the strain. For the stress, we are concerned about the force acting on the A. Where do you apply the force? You apply it on the ends, right? You apply the force on the ends. So that is where you want the area. That is what area they want in the equation lah. If I were to compress it like this, macam mana cakap tak nampak pula. If I were to compress it like this, I am applying force on the sides of this pen. Now the stress is acting on the sides, right? So the area dah lain dah lah. But in this case, I am either compressing it like this or stretching it. And I am applying force on the ends only. If I am applying force on the ends, the area that I'm interested is only on the ends. Okay, macam mana nak ingat? Kat mana awak apply force? Kat situlah area yang awak kena tahu. So stress is F over A. How much force are you applying? What is the area of the place that you are applying force? So that is how you remember this equation. Okay, again, tensile is for something that is long. Tensile strain, what is elongated when I apply force like this or when I apply force like this? Dia akan berubah length ke sini kan, ke arah macam ni. Macam nak cakap. This way. You get it? So the change in length over the original length, that is your strain. Okay? Any questions? Feel free to ask. For a long thin wire, the stress is due to tension or compression force perpendicular to the cross-sectional area, as I mentioned before. Kita apply kat sini. So kat sini yang kita nak tahu A. Your force is applied perpendicular. Saya tolak dia macam ni. The force is acting perpendicular. Macam ni lah. Okay. I'm not doing like this. Saya tak tolak macam ni. Kalau tolak macam ni, parallel. Saya tolak macam ni. I'm acting head on. So that is perpendicular. Perpendicular force acting on the cross-sectional area. Okay, so this is called Young's modulus, the elastic limit. Okay, we talked about, tak tulis pula dah. Hello. It's not working. Ground. Let me try again. It's not working. Okay. Okay, so tadi I talked about tensile stress, tensile strain. Dividing these two, dia tak tulis pula dah. Hello. Sekejap biasalah tu. not working. Ada pula. Tak faham. Okay, so dividing tensile stress with tensile strain. Is stress over strain, stress over strain. Gives you Young's modulus. Nama dia Young's modulus. You can label it as Y. It's disappearing again. Okay, you can label this as Y. Macam mana saya nak buat ni? Dah lah tengah record. Does anyone have any questions while okay. Does anyone have any questions so far? Okay, everyone? Not sleeping?
Doctor,
Yep.
Okay,
is tensile and tension the same thing?
Tensile and tension the same thing? No, they are not the same thing. Tensile ni is a name. Macam mana cakap? Tensile ni, okay. So tadi I talked about tension. Cooperate, I only have 15 minutes left. Okay, tak apalah saya cakap. Okay, tadi saya cakap pasal pushing. Pushing, when I push this pen like this, it is called compression. Compress, I compress it, tolak, compress. When I do this, saya tarik, tertarik pula. When I do this, is my pen going to be ruined? That is a deformation, right? Okay, so when I tarik dia, stretch it, it's called tension. Kenapa tension? Dia tegang. Contoh yang lain. Oh, I have a pen, elastic band. When I compress it, saya tolak dia macam ni, right? Dia tak tegang kan? This is me compressing, applying force, compression. When I do this is tension, dia tegang. Tension means tegang. When I stretch it, I'm applying tension. Tension is penegangan lah. Okay, so tensile and tension is different. Tensile is the name of the stress and the strain that we apply on a thin wire or a rod, something that is long and thin. It's a name. Tension tu perbuatan ataupun apa yang terjadi dekat ni lah, tension, tegang, compress, mampat. Okay, tensile is not that. Tensile is the name. Okay, faham tak?
Faham, Doctor.
Okay. Alright, you're welcome. Okay, so the equation is Young's modulus, Y. This is the elastic limit. Saya tak tahu kenapa saya tak boleh tulis. That is the elastic limit of tensile stress over tensile strain. Okay, let's see if the next slide will be helpful. Oh, ni dah masuk shear modulus. Okay, tak apa. Let's go with this equation first. Nanti kita akan buat summary later. So that was Young's modulus. It was for long, thin objects. Shear modulus is for a large, thick object such as a book. If you can see in this slide, this is a book. The stress is due to parallel force. Remember, tadi tensile stress, kita apply perpendicular force, right? Perpendicular force to a cross-sectional area. Now, for shear modulus or shear elasticity, we are applying parallel force. Masuk kat sini. Saya bukan compress macam ni. Saya tolak dia. Saya tolak ke atas. So that is parallel. Okay, sebab it's not acting like this. It's acting this way. So that is parallel force acting on the object on a cross-sectional area. Again, saya apply parallel force kat sini. Tak nampak lah pula. Hilang. Saya apply parallel force kat sini. So this is where the area, hilang. This is so scary. Hilang, okay. This is funny, okay. So this is where I applied the parallel force, right? So that is your A. Okay, so in this case, permukaan buku ni is your A. That is your A, your area. What is the unit for your area? It's meter squared. If it's in centimeter, convert to SI unit, always, okay? The object does not change in volume even though the shape changes. So now in shear modulus, kita tarik ke, kita apply force macam mana pun, dia tak memanjang. It does not elongate, it does not shrink, it changes shape. Macam buku lah. Buku tak boleh panjangkan, buku tak boleh memanjangkan. Kalau buku boleh memanjang takut jugalah. So what happens? It changes shape. So that is called shear modulus, elasticity in shape. So how do we quantify strain? Kita apply force penat-penat tapi macam mana nak tahu ada strain ke tak? So how do you quantify strain is delta X over H. What is delta X? Okay, saya punya gambar ni menutup. So delta X is this guy over here. Perubahan yang berlaku dekat tempat yang applied parallel force tu. Okay, so dia akan mencondong ke arah tepi ni kan. Dia akan condong ke sana sikit. So quantify that change from the original shape over the height of the book. Okay, nanti kita akan go through examples if there are any. Again, saya apply a parallel force. Kat mana area dia? Kat tempat yang saya apply parallel force lah. So this whole area. Bila saya tolak, ada perubahan dekat hujung ni. Dia ke depan sikit. Yang ke depan tu banyak mana? So that is your delta X. What is the height in this case? It's this guy. This is the height over here. Jangan cakap entah. This guy. Okay, so that's your height. Walaupun macam nipis kan, but it's my book. So if you want higher, larger height, get a bigger book, right? Okay, so that is how you quantify your strain for something that changes in shape. The stress is easy, parallel force, area, easy, strain. The strain kena quantify the change in the shape over the height. Okay. Next one, oh sorry, the equation is shear modulus. Tadi it was Young's modulus, which was Y. This time it's shear modulus, change in shape. It's denoted by G. It is shear stress over shear strain. Tadi macam mana? Tadi was tensile stress over tensile strain. It's a name, It's not tension, it's not compression. It's the name. The name of the stress, the name of the strain. So here it is shear stress over shear strain. Okay, so equation kat tepi ni, jangan confuse. Just use whatever yang dalam box ni. And then letak jelas sekali. So that is how you get the equation. You don't have to memorize the complicated equation. Memorize it individually, combine it together. Saya susah nak tulis sekarang, maybe next class we can write this together. Okay, the last one, bulk modulus. Bulk. Nama bulk. Bulk selalunya orang cakap, bahasa Melayu apa bulk? Bulk tu benda yang banyak kan? Orang cakap macam tu kan? Okay, in this case, bulk means volume. Okay, bulk means volume. Okay, so my favorite example, the tissue. So mula-mula saya gumpal macam ni. So it's a ball of tissue, right? Okay. Anggaplah dia bola. Hilang. Okay, it's here. Okay, that is your ball of tissue. Bersih tissue ni. Okay, so I apply force. How do I apply the force? If I apply it like this, maksudnya saya tak apply consistently. Kat hujung-hujung ni saya tak apply. Right? For a volume for bulk modulus to happen, I have to apply force in all directions. Macam ni, saya kena compress semua sekali. Okay, so the force is acting kat semua tempat. And it is acting perpendicular to the surface. Boleh tengok gambar kotak ni. So, saya cakap apa? Compress. Compress the whole tissue. Force is acting in all directions, perpendicular to the surface. Perpendicular to the area. Okay. So kita akan assume the force is uniform in all directions. So I can quantify if I say I apply 10 newtons over here, tengok saya punya cursor If I apply 10 newtons on this part of A, I will apply 10 newtons on this part of A and 10 newton on this part of A. So kita tengok satu tempat, satu A je lah. We will only look at one A because kita assume everywhere is the same. Okay, so just look at one side. What is the force applied there? That is your stress or volume stress. And then the strain, or you can calculate the whole force that is applied on the box and calculate the area of the box. So ada berapa sides? Ada 6 sides, right? So 6 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 A's. Total F over 6 area of the 6 sides of the box. You can do that as well. It will be the same as F over A of one side. Sebab kita assume the force is uniform. You can do that. You can use one side only pun boleh. Okay, so the strain is the fractional change in volume. So previously we talked about the change in length, the change in shape. Now we are talking about the change in volume. The volume was this much mula-mula, compressed it, became smaller. Sekejap, saya nak cuba kecilkan lagi. Yeah, it became smaller now. So that is the change in volume. What is the difference of the new volume minus with the original volume? That is your change in volume. Okay, so change in volume over original volume, V naught, that is your strain, volume strain. So volume stress over volume strain is bulk modulus. It is denoted by B. So we have Y, Young's modulus untuk rod. And then we have shear modulus denoted by G for books, change in shape. And then we have bulk modulus for volume, B, which is the change in volume. And I will end my class here. If you have any questions, you can ask. Otherwise, we are done. Ada soalan tak?
Doktor nak tanya untuk shear modulus, yang untuk shear strain tu, X dengan H tu apa Dia simbol kepada apa?
Okay, X ni saya punya pen tengah gila, so saya tunjuk cursor Nampak cursor saya ni?
Nampak.
So X is, okay, mula-mula kita ada kotak ni kan. Okay, kotak ni dekat sini. When I apply the parallel force, dia condong ke arah kanan. Dalam kes ni lah, dia condong ke arah kanan. Apakah perubahan? What is the change from the original place? Sebab mula-mula hujung kotak ni dekat sini. Betul tak? Bila saya apply force, hujung kotak ni pindah ke sini. So berapa banyak dia pindah tu? That is your delta X.
Maksudnya kotak tu ke depan berapa banyak?
Ya, yeah, betul.
Displacement kotak
dia
lah.
ni, mula-mula dia tak, shape dia tak berubah kan. Saya apply force, dia ke depan, contohnya kat sini 10 cm lah. 10 cm daripada tempat asal dia. Kita tengok hujung je ni, tengok hujung je. So dia ke depan by 10 cm. Itu je yang saya nak untuk tengok shear modulus, shear strain, sorry. So delta X kat sini, berapa banyak dia ke depan, berapa banyak dia ke tepi. Tak kisahlah depan ke, tepi ke, belakang ke, asalkan ada perubahan tu over H. Kalau tak nak tengok sini, kalau tak nak tengok on the right, you can quantify the change on your left. Perbanyak dia ke dalam pun boleh. It will give you the same answer. Okay, dia kena konsisten lah. Kalau ke kanan 10, ke kiri pun 10 juga. Ke kanan 10, sorry, ke kanan kat sini 10, ke arah sini pun 10, ke kiri pula, ke dalam. Faham tak?
Faham Doktor,
Faham.
Faham.
Okay, any other questions? Nanti kita akan buat example next class.
Doctor, after this you will give these slides, right? Okay, thank you.
Alright.
Doktor nak confirm kan?
Ha?
Mula-mula masa kita apply force tu, kita apply the stress kan? So bila dia berlakunya macam perubahan either length ke ataupun displacement ke, barulah kita panggil dia stress dengan strain.
Bila berlaku,
Contoh kita apply, lepas tu dia macam tak cukup lagi nak gerakkan dia. Contoh length dia tak berubah lagi macam tu. So itu baru stress saja, belum strain lagi.
betul, correct.
So kalau dia dah bergerak length itu kira stress dengan strain ke ataupun strain je?
Kalau dia dah bergerak length, that is strain. Stress tu related to force sahaja. Dia dua benda yang berbeza.
Okay.
So you can apply a lot of stress. Tapi kalau dia belum nak strain, dia tak strain lah. So tak adalah modulus. Okay, so modulus ni dia tie the shear, the stress and the strain together. Okay, so
thank you.
you can apply a lot of force, you can apply a lot macam kita tekan kat laptop kita macam mana pun dia tak ada elongation, tak ada change in shape, tak ada apa-apa kan. So there is no strain. Betul tak?
Betul.
Okay. So bila saya apply, saya campak batu butter, saya campak a brick on my laptop, dia pecah. Betul tak? So immediately when I apply a huge amount of force, dia terus masuk plastic region. So dia tak ada elastic region tu, dia tak ada. So kadang-kadang ada objek macam tu dia terus masuk plastic region, dia terus rosak. Dia tak ada elastic region tu lah. Okay?
Alright.
Okay. Other questions? Is everyone okay? If you want to talk to me personally, you can WhatsApp me. No problem with that. If you want to share your question with the group, pun boleh. Oops, what did I do? Okay, so other than that, I'll see you guys tomorrow, I think. Yep. Okay. Have a great day. Don't forget to eat lunch. Take care of yourself. Everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Doktor.
Thank you, Doctor.
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 Thank you, Doktor.
Bye. Sekejap. Mama kan cakap bye kat you. Okay, stop sharing.
Snowman?
Mhm.
Snowman?
Later.